Good morning, everyone. Let's give it a minute for everyone to join before we begin. Can you all see my screen?
Yes.
Yes.
Thank you. How's everyone Monday morning going so far?
Doing well. Okay, I think we have a few people and we can get started. It's 9:03 and I call this meeting to order. Action item number 2, public comments. So at this time, we open the floor for public comment. Do we know if we have any public comments, Rachel?
No.
Okay. If there are no public comments, we can go to action item number 3, approval of the minutes for June 19. I think everyone had a chance to review the minutes from the June meeting. Yes. Are there any comments or corrections to the meeting minutes? If there are no corrections, may I have a motion to approve the minutes for the June 17th meeting? Anyone?
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes.
Thank you, Megan. Anyone second?
I'll second.
Thank you. Okay. The next item, 4, reports and presentations. 4A, MPO report. Ryan, all yours.
Yeah, sorry about that. My computer's not working as well. But just a quick report for us on the MPO side. We've been working with the department. We did receive a copy today of our draft tentative work program. So we're going to begin the process of reviewing that. We did work closely with the department, our liaison team, as well as DOT's operations group, and worked on getting a number of projects programmed, varying from ATSPM upgrades, as well as CV upgrades and transit signal priority projects still moving through the process. So as we begin evaluating the draft tentative work program, we'll certainly provide you with a summary of changes as well as any new projects that were updated throughout the process. You'll see a number of projects in design here in the early years in 25 and 26, and then a number of construction projects out in fiscal year 27. So we continue to move through the prioritization of a number of our projects outlined in our long range plan, as well as applied through the project priority process. So that's really all I've got so far on the MPO report, but good to see progress being made with regards to the number of our priorities and seeing funding throughout the work program. So that's all I really got on the MPO report side for now.
Thank you. The next item is 4B, FDOT reports. Do we have any updates for today from FDOT?
Hi, good morning. Yeah, I do. I've actually got a presentation to share
Sure.
with some slides.
I can go ahead and stop my share. Yep.
Okay. Let's see. I think it's this one. There we go. Can you see my screen?
Not yet.
Oh, I need to hit share.
Yep.
There we go. Okay. So this really will kind of expound upon what Ryan was just talking about in a little more detail. So we worked closely with Ryan and Dave to put together a lot of these ideas and prioritize some things. We were very successful this year on a TSM&O side of things with securing some additional funding from the MPO due to some projects being moved around. And I just want to say thanks to Ryan and Dave and the MPO straight up for thinking of us, and prioritizing these needs, because this is kind of a windfall of TSM&O specific programming for Manatee and Sarasota counties on the state highway system. So kudos to them and everyone for being forward thinking and putting this together. So with that, I'll just give some updates on existing projects and then highlight what's new. So starting off, US 41, various locations, that's item number 1 here. We had 5 locations originally on, let's see, I'll just do this. 5 locations originally on US 41. Is that still coming through okay? Can see it all right? Mm-hmm. Okay. Sorry, I'm not as used to Zoom. I'm a Teams guy. So we had 5 locations on 41, and we had a large increase in funding from the MPO to increase and include several other locations that weren't previously included in the project. We added 3 more intersections. And this project's including ATSPM, level detection on this route along US 41 to enhance the resolution of that detection. The NTP for that has been issued, and HSD is the contractor. They're starting their equipment procurement now. And we'll be adding those additional intersections to the design. If you're curious about the locations, I don't know if you can see my notes there, but those are the specific locations where it's going. And I can share this presentation with everyone at the end of the meeting if you're curious to have some more details. Next up, Manatee ADMS. We'll be installing ADMS on State Road 64 and State Road 70 in Manatee in both the eastbound and westbound directions on either side of the interchanges. That's a design build project. We're in ATC review now. Actually, we kind of just provided our comments on that last week. And that project will let to design and construction in March. Item number 3 is the Manatee County Emergency Vehicle Preemption. This is installation by Manatee County of AI Glance GPS cellular modem EVP system in Manatee County. My understanding is that it's complete. If anybody from Manatee's here or the TMC has any comments on how it's operating, love to hear those.
Mukunda, this is Mukunda with Manatee County. Yeah, this is complete. We had some issues after the storm, some hardware issues, and that's being worked on right now. But system as a whole is complete and it's operating.
Great, good to hear. Thanks for y'all pushing that forward and working with us to get the paperwork done. And that was, a little bit of a pain, but we made it happen, and I'm glad it's out there. Number 4 is the South Skyway Rest Area TPAS system, the truck parking availability system. This is for the Sunshine Skyway Rest Area on the south side of Tampa Bay. Those final plans have been mailed to central office for final approval, and that will be letting in January. So good news there. Number 5 is the Sarasota Manatee TSP pilot. This is 4 intersections for a TSP trial on 41 and the Sarasota Manatee County line down in the airport area. And it'll include transit signal priority on transit route 99. The ITB, or invitation to bid for that, has been awarded. And we're just waiting for some internal certifications, and then that'll be moving forward for implementation for that pilot. So that's been an idea in the works for a while, I think, with Ryan. So I'm sure he's glad to see that come to fruition. Manatee County continued. So these are some of the new projects we were successful in getting approved this time around that Ryan was talking about before. So the first is a project on 684 Cortez in Manatee from 301 Boulevard to 26th. This is a ATSPM RSU / connected vehicle ATC controller and switch upgrade along the corridor. This will include 7 intersections. And we're going to begin design immediately. Kat and her team's working on that, getting the designer on board, and that will let to construction in fiscal year 26. So it's coming fast. We'll have to get the design done quickly, but we think we can get it done in time. So that'll be a great addition for that. We'll be able to bring in ATSPM data along that corridor like we started with the US 41 segment. Those 2 segments will overlap in this area, which will be a good project. And then second, we have US 301. This is a new project idea that we came up with. to do ATSPM, RSUs, and freight signal priority, along with ATCs and switch upgrades on 301 from Televast to 9th Street. That'll include 9 intersections. And those are all, again, listed down here with these projects as well, if you're curious, the exact locations. But that was funded for design in FY26. And then it's not currently funded for construction, but we're hopeful that as the years goes on, that can be prioritized for funding. It should be a great corridor, particularly for the freight prioritization and data. All right, that's all from Manatee. On to Sarasota. So Sarasota is a little more mature at this point as far as project flow. So we've got a lot of good updates here. City of Sarasota, their LA TAPS or TAPS LA project, they had 16 intersections with RSUs and ATC installation through Dennis. That project is nearing integration completion. All the hardware has been installed. Project number 2, State Road 758 or B Ridge Smart Signals is what we called it, was the installation of RSUs, ATSPM detection, ATCs and switches at 14 intersections along B Ridge Road. That project is also fully installed, and integration is nearing completion there, or is complete. A lot of these ATSPM projects that are rolling out now are going live. We're kind of waiting on some software updates to make that ATSPM resolution data, a reality, which that will be hosted by DOT. But once that starts flowing, it should be really cool to share. Also, this project will include purchase of 2 OBUs, I believe, for Sarasota County for their testing and maintenance purposes throughout the corridor and in other locations where we'll be installing ATSPM. So those will be ordered soon. Number 3, State Road 780, Fruitville Road, from 301 to Honore. Another 11 intersections. You're probably seeing a theme here: RSUs, ATSPM detection, ATCs, and switches. This project already has a designer selected, and this is one of the projects that Ryan was talking about going to construction. It's funded for FY28. And then 41 from Siesta Drive to north of Wood, which is this project here, number 4. Same story, designer selected and going to construction in 28, another MPO funded project, 7 intersections on that one. And then continuing to move south on 41, we have 41 from Gulf Gate to B Ridge. So from here to here, another 9 intersections as well. Design for that will start this fiscal year immediately, and then construction for that in 28 as well. And then lastly, 72 Clark Road from 41 to I-75. We got a portion of this one funded. This one goes, I think, kind of over to like McIntosh or just short of McIntosh. But there's a current FDOT resurfacing project there. We were able to get funding and design into that job to install some ATS-PIM detection, and actually it will include RSUs as well. That's another 6 intersections. So some great overlap here. I think, between Manatee and Sarasota County, and I actually had another slide here I was working on. I didn't do the Sarasota one, but we'll have some great overlap on the major corridors. between both counties once all these projects are funded and constructed. For the main part of US 41 corridor, we still have a little gap here on 41 between in the Whitfield Televast area, but we can get a job there. And then we also had some other ideas as well. No promises here, but here's some crazy ideas we've been thinking about. So additional ATSP MRSU projects on 64 and continuing down 684 Cortez. Additional on State Road 64, continuing out east through I-75 out to the Lakewood Ranch area. Along 301 from the arterial interchange here in Palmetto out to towards Parrish. And then 41 from 57 Televast, that gap I was talking about, continuing down this way here to the south between City of Sarasota and Bradenton, and then Barrier Island smart project, which would include more advanced detection out there, maybe some ADMS replacements, because we do have some ADMS out there towards the island, and some bridge status monitoring. So this is an idea we thought about, letting the public know when those bridges are going up, when they're stuck, issuing alerts to 511 and services like that, just to have better communication with the public. So some cool ideas there. And then to wrap it up, we still do have our Southwest Florida I-75 frame project out there. This was including RSUs and sweep radar detection at the interchanges. And it would go all the way down through the full length of District 1, but this is just showing the interchanges in Manatee and Sarasota County, obviously. But that grant reapplication is out there. Waiting to hear back on that for the second time around. We also have a request in the central office as well. We'll see if it gets approved. We don't know if it's all going to get approved at once. We might have to do that in phases, but Kat has a great plan to kind of section that off so it's in a little bit more bite-sized pieces. So we could do that as well. It's not on this map too. It was on a previous map, but of course, we have the Moving Florida Forward project in the Fruitville Interchange area, which has been let as well. Can't forget that. And then a quick update on wrong way driving deployment. So D1 has been setting out dual highlighted signs on all the off-ramps with confirmation CCTV and infrared cameras in Manatee and Sarasota counties. Phase B, we're calling it, is currently in construction. We anticipate it'll be done by the end of this calendar year, but that includes 7 interchanges. And I have those listed down here as well. So that will be Fruitville, Bee Ridge, Laurel, Jacaranda, River, Sumter, and Toledo Blade. And then Plan Set C is wrapping up design. It's in final plans, actually. And we hope that that will be done by the end of the fiscal year. So hopefully by the end of next June. And that will be the final 3 interchanges in Manatee, Sarasota, and that'll be University, State Road 64, and 41 at I-275, which we prioritize that location because you'll probably aware there was a recent wrong way driver crash in that area. It was slated to go in a later plan set, but we prioritized that up to include it in an earlier one. And that will give us all the interstate interchanges by the end of FY25. with the exception of 275 and US 19, which is this one here. And that is tentative and partially funded, that plan set D. That'll be the last plan set. We'll try to get that one. So great news there. That's a great safety project we've been working on for a long time. I could do a whole nother separate presentation on that one, but glad we got that one moved forward. But it'll be great for the interstate and the community there. And then last but certainly not least is a windfall of arterial signal equipment funding that came from the MPO. We got $5 million to purchase direly needed signal equipment for the local agencies from the MPO. This includes everything you can think of, you name it: cabinets, ATC controllers, switches, MMUs, detection, CCTVs, Bluetooth detectors, cellular modems, so on and so forth. So for those of y'all that may not be aware, $5 million is a lot of money for signal equipment, and it's pretty much unheard of. This is like 10 years worth of money in 1 year. And I know Aaron and Manatee was concerned about continued support of controllers. And so we were able to lump his requests into this to secure additional funding to purchase additional ATC controllers for Manatee because the manufacturer is discontinuing a lot of theirs. Mukunda, this includes your request for switch upgrades on the network that you have put in a while back as well. So this will upgrade the network to gigabit switches, which is huge. And then, things you can't do without: cabinets, expensive, and I know this will take a while to get a lot of this in, especially the cabinets. But it's coming, and it's going to be a great asset to keep the arterial system up and running, and provide the equipment that maintenance needs to provide good customer service. So big kudos there. So with that, I think that's all I have. Are there any questions, comments, or concerns? Any comments on the project ideas or anything moving forward? Be glad to discuss.
Any comments or questions?
Varshini and Stephen, thanks. This is Dave Hutchinson. The investment in ITS has been a top priority of the MPO and the MPO board and our jurisdictions for a long time, and we did get a little bit behind in funding some of the plans, so we're playing catch up here to some extent. My question, and so this does remain a high priority, and if other projects for whatever reason aren't able to remain on track, then the investment in the ATMS system is going to remain a good option for us, because you can see from Stephen's presentation there are still lots of needed additional investments that we want to see implemented. And the national strategy for the last 15 years has been try to fix as much as improve the operations of what you have before you build or additional capacity, or in many cases you're not going to be able to build additional capacity due to cost or community support, acquiring additional right of way, et cetera. So we've seen when the state switched a bunch of projects to pavement only, that was a little bit of a setback for some of these types of investments, because we had hoped to package the ATMS improvements with the resurfacing, and this helps us restore some of those investments and keep them on track. So, I mean, this is pretty exciting. I feel like we haven't had this much good news on our TSM&O front for a while, and it's not that we haven't been pushing for it, and the money has been there, but it's a matter of getting it into the work program, and here we are, and we have good ideas. I saw the update of our plan to coincide with the update of the congestion management process. This is always an ongoing process, iterative process to keep plans updated so that we're always looking out into the future. So I want to thank the department and Stephen for working with us to try to get our adopted plans and priorities implemented on schedule as much as possible. And we're looking to continue this. Thank you. And I had a question about, did the hurricanes damage or cause any of this equipment to need to be replaced to where we could take advantage of that and take the build back better approach?
So there was considerable damage. I wouldn't say it was, catastrophic or anything like that, but
No, we know that there were tens of thousands of signals that were out.
yeah.
So
But in regards to Manatee and Sarasota, I think it was relatively minor. From an equipment standpoint, the counties and cities, they jumped out there and did a lot of the work much faster than we could have, to their credit, to get things back up and running. But there is another request outside of the $5 million equipment request of an additional $1.6 million to replace the equipment that the local agencies, Manatee, Sarasota, have expended in order on the state highway system to get those systems back up and running. So that's in process now with central office to get that approved, and we'll be doing another order to restock that equipment as well. So that's the crazy thing, is it's really $6.6 million in total. But on top of that, we've also had a great team here working on doing DDIRs through FHWA to task our contractor to go out and do permanent damage for non-emergency related items to get caught back up on that. They should be starting work on that today, actually, is their first day getting out there. That's through traffic control devices. And they'll be doing that, but then they'll also be doing some ineligible work as well that'll be funded by the state for repairs to help the local agencies get caught up on that front as well. So those are 60-day tasks. They may need to be extended, depending on, equipment availability with the contractor and everything, but you should see them out and about working starting this week. And we've instructed them to reach out to the local maintaining agencies before they start work and coordinate with them so that they know when and where they're going to be and what they're working on for any assistance and coordination. So good news on that front as well.
Cool. Thank you. Do we have any more comments or concerns? Stephen?
I think that's it for me. Thanks again to Dave and Ryan.
Thank you, Stephen. Thank you, Dave. If there are no comments, we can move on to the... Okay, give me 1 second. I'll go share my screen. Are you able to see what I'm sharing? Anyone confirm if my screen is visible?
Yes.
Perfect. Thank you. Moving on to the next item on agenda, 4C, jurisdiction updates. Any updates from any of our local jurisdictions? City of Sarasota, City of Bradenton, Palmetto.
Venice, Northport.
Venice, Northport. You want? Okay, if there's no further discussion or any updates, we can move on to the next item on the agenda, 5, once around the table. If there's anything that you think we haven't discussed in the meeting today, I think now is the time to bring it up. Quiet meeting. Okay, if there's nothing further to discuss, I would thank everyone for attending the meeting this morning, and it's 9:36 a.m. and I call the meeting to adjourn. Thank you everyone for joining.
Have
Have
a
a
good
good
one.
rest of your week.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Thank you.